Hi guys, it's Belle here and I'm coming on to talk to you about my goal video, and whilst I'm doing that I'm just going to work a little bit more on my snippet roll. If you haven't seen this, I will link the video where I started making this down below. Oh my goodness me. I already have some pins and things in here, and we're just going to work on this because it gives me something to do whilst I'm chatting with you guys, as it were. So I did say to you that I was going to be bringing you a goal video. I need to stitch this later too. And I know it's a bit late in the year. Well, I don't think it's late in the year. We're a few weeks in. But I think I said in another video that for me, I never feel the rush with the new year to immediately start making my goals. I always kind of still think about them, and for me this is still the winter time, so this is still time for me to be just taking things slowly and letting my body dictate because of the season. And so there's no rush for me to kind of go, oh yes, I need to do this goal by this time. Normally for me that comes in February. And so it's still, you know, as I said, I still take time thinking about them. And I have been thinking about my craft goals since last year. So at the start of 2024, I made the decision that I had basically, for most of my time on YouTube, I had basically been just making journals, doing a few videos, but I wasn't really focused a lot on my channel. I was making journals, and and I don't make journals most of the time on camera. And the reason I don't do that is because it takes me a long time to make one of my big journals. It takes me weeks, and that is hours and hours of me sitting and procrastinating, and sometimes spending an hour on the one page for one decoration. I'm not kidding you when I say that, guys. I really think about everything that I put into my journal, and I probably overthink it, to be honest with you. And I just decided that that's not something I can do on camera. I have made some journals on camera, but they tend to be not as decorated, or they tend to be smaller, like traveler's notebooks and things like that. And so I just made the decision that I was feeling a bit, I suppose the word is burnt out with it. I wasn't enjoying the process as much anymore, and I wanted a bit of a change. And I made the decision at the end of 2023 that going into 2024, I would be much more focused on just enjoying crafting again, because I really feel like that had been something that I wasn't enjoying. I was lacking a lot of creativity. I was, as I said, feeling a bit burnt out. I was just feeling like it was becoming more of, can I get this journal made and done, and not, am I really, I was still pushing myself creatively with the journals, but it was the only thing I was really focused on a lot of the time. And that was just not something that I was enjoying anymore. And when I stop enjoying craft, I don't just stop for myself. I actually stop watching it. I wasn't watching any videos at all, because I then start feeling really bad that I'm not crafting, or not feeling that craftingness. So I then just wasn't the thing that I enjoy doing, the craft that I enjoy, and also crafting really helps with, you know, my anxiety and things. I just wasn't enjoying it. So again, for those of you who don't know, if you're new here, hello, welcome. But I do actually suffer with a very severe anxiety disorder. I don't talk about it that often. I have told you guys, obviously, that I have it, and that actually it's the reason I got into making journals, and even the reason I started this channel in one sense. But yeah, it is actually quite severe. And when I say that, I know some of you are going to be like, you're on camera, you're chatting to us, you don't come across as having anxiety, but when I tell you, it is severe, and crafting helps me with that. So yeah, it had become an issue. So I had decided at the end of 2023 that going into 24, I was going to make a lot less journals, and I did. I think I made only 3 large journals, and I think 2 of them were commissions at the start of the year. Because again, if you don't know, you can order a commission from me if you contact me through my Etsy, always linked below. You can actually order a commission journal. So I think the 2 at the start of the year were commissions, and then the one nearer the end of the year was a design team project for Tracy Fox. So yeah, I decided I wasn't going to focus on journals. I was going to focus on just really enjoying crafting again. And one of the ways I was going to do that was I was going to do whatever craft I wanted. I was going to take time away from journal making and just play, just craft, just have fun. By the way, I apologize for the light, but this is what we're dealing with today. As I said, I think in a previous video, I'm not at home. I am away at the moment, so I am crafting to the best of my ability with my limited supplies in a house that is not set up for me to actually film. So, you know, but we make do. Anyway, so I decided that, and I also decided I was going to try new things. I was going to challenge myself. I was going to learn new techniques. I was going to take part in whatever challenge I found interesting, and I was just going to play, and I was going to focus more on my channel. I was actually going to spend time uploading videos, thinking about content and all that kind of thing. Because if I'm honest, by the end of 23, I had wondered whether there was any point in keeping this channel going, or even my Etsy. It had got to that point where I was just like, is this right for me anymore? Is it serving me the way I need it to? Is it, you know, bringing me joy, all that kind of thing? And I was just feeling so burnt out about it. And I'm one of those that believe you do not make decisions when you are not feeling at your best. So I thought, no, I'll do these commission journals because, you know, I love making commission journals. They're such a personal thing, and I just love doing that for someone. And I'll make those, and I'll just focus on having fun. And then halfway through the year, or at a quarterly recap, I'll have a look at how I'm still feeling about things. And if I'm still feeling the same, then I'll make those decisions. But I just want to play and have fun. And that's what I did, guys. I just was crafting in a way that was fun for me, and taking part in loads of new challenges, like I did Junk Journal January for the first time, and then I did other things that I just haven't done before, things even like Creep on June, and I learnt new skills, or I had a go at new techniques and all that kind of thing. And do you know what? I just loved it. And you can see that because I was uploading more. I was, you can hear it in my voice when I'm filming more. I was just having a great time. And that was a great decision for me to make, to just focus on playing, learning, crafting, getting messy, being a big child basically, and having as much fun as possible. And that's what I did. And I'm so glad I did, because not only do I feel better in myself, but this channel has grown, and I've met some wonderful people. I've had new things have come my way, which was not something I was expecting at all. Like now being a member of Tracy Fox's design team, I mean, I never saw that coming. That wasn't something I started out the year going. I knew that the design team I had been in for years, which I absolutely loved because I was a member of Release the Crafting's design team. And I loved that design team, but I knew that was coming to an end. Priscilla was sort of going in a different direction and had decided that they weren't going to keep their design team going anymore. And I had been a member of their design team since the very beginning. So I knew that was going to be a big change as well. But also I was I missed Dizilla and Priscilla's digitals that, you know, I missed them making digital kits. But it also meant that I could sort of craft without that worrying that I wasn't doing enough for the design team or that something had to be done in time and all that kind of thing. It just meant that I could do something else. Ooh, cheesecloth, love cheesecloth. So I had no plans in my head. I knew that I would love to get on someone else's design team, but I had no plans in my head and I wasn't reaching out to anyone or anything like that. I didn't have that in mind. And yet that happened last year and this channel grew and a little community is, and I just think it's because you guys could hear how much I was enjoying crafting. And also I was just uploading a lot more than I had been, and just taking part in random challenges and challenging myself and having fun and just, yeah, it was a great year for all of that for me. And things did kind of come my way because of it, which I am so grateful for. And so I loved all that. And I want to, so I highly recommend if you guys are feeling stuck or you're feeling like, well, I really love this craft and I have this, and this, but I want to try something different. I highly recommend just giving yourself the permission to play. Yeah, it's been great for me. So I decided if that was going to be my 2024, what did I want going forward into 2025? And I knew I wanted to keep that aspect of I still want to be playing. I still want to be learning and challenging myself and just doing things that are fun and whatever catches my eye and all that kind of thing, and still building this little community that we have that has built up in the past year, just doing whatever that was. So a lot of waffling, but goals for 2025. So my first big goal is that I want to really use up a lot of what I have. I have a lot of different papers and fabrics and scraps. Oh my goodness, scraps, so many scraps. Vintage book pages. I mean, I have a lot of this kind of stuff. And whilst I will still be purchasing new things, this is not a no buy year for me. It is going to be a low buy. They're different things. And in tandem with that idea of using what I have, I will replace certain things that I love to use. Like if I run out of my texture paste, I'm replacing, I was looking for a piece of that. I'm replacing my texture paste. You know, that's just going to be a thing. But I don't want to be buying just for the sake of buying. I want to buy in a very conscious way with things that I know that I actually want and that I can use, and that I'm buying to add, not value, but add dimension to my crafting, rather than, by that I mean, if I'm going to buy a stamp set, I want to buy a stamp set that is going to add to the collection I already have, not is exactly the same as everything that I already have. I need to use it. I have a lot of stamps, guys, a ridiculous amount of stamps. Now, most of them are stamps I bought when I was doing pocket letters and card making. So a lot of them aren't my style anymore, or they're not stuff I really want to use. But with using up what I have, what comes alongside that is I also want to be destashing. I want to be reorganizing my craft room. I've seen that this is quite a theme this year. I want to be reorganizing and I want to be destashing. I want to just be a bit harsh with myself. I keep things that are not in my style at all, because in my head I tell myself, well, there might be a project that they'll come in handy for. And to be honest, a lot of those things get used up in either my Marguerite Miller or different little challenges like that. But they're also taking up a lot of room. And I've said before, I have a very limited room. So what I need to do is destash hugely. I need to be very harsh with myself. And if there's things that I'm not using or that aren't my style and I'm just keeping for that possible project, but realistically aren't ever going to get used, then I need to just get rid of them. Realistically, I need to get rid of quite a lot. So, and make some room so that I'm not shoving things in a drawer or in a box, which is how a lot of mine are stored. I'm not just shoving them in there and then I can't find anything, and then papers are getting wrinkled or stuff's getting a bit ruined. You know, I don't want to be doing that. So I want space. I want boxes and storage that's not full. That's what I want. I want space in there. One, because it means I have space. And two, it means that those things that I do want to buy and bring into my home, those things are actually going to have a place to go and are going to be easy to access so that I can then remember them and use them. And that brings me round to my other thing. I not only want to use what I have and use up my scraps in particular and then de-stash, but last year I tried lots of different things and I tried lots of new techniques here, there and everywhere. But what I did was I would try them for a particular project or a particular, challenge, and I would have a lot of fun, but then I wouldn't then continue exploring that and making it more a part of my daily crafting, you know, making it part of my repertoire of skills. So this year what I want to do is I still want to learn new skills, but what I want to do is I've picked a handful of skills that I know I've got the tools for already, and that I really, with those skills, I want to dive deep into them. I want to make sure that I am really practicing those techniques and that I am practicing them, getting to know them really well, using them regularly in some way or other, and basically using up those things. And then at the end of the year, firstly, hopefully, I would have learnt some new skills really well. But secondly, it will also make me realise, what do I want to keep, what don't I want to keep in my stash? Because, for example, I have pyrography tools. I brought them a couple of years ago because I really wanted to attempt it, and I've done nothing. They have been sitting in my craft stash, but I still want to have a go at them. So this year, that's one of the things I'm really going to try and work on, is pyrography, which, if you don't know, it's burning images into wood. I also have a massive lino stamp creating kit, and I've made a few things over the years, but I haven't picked it up in about 2 years. And I only made a few stamps when I did make them. So I'm going to be also, that's one of the other skills I'm going to be focusing on this year, because I have all the tools. I have, oh my gosh, so many different sheets of lino. I have all the lino cutting tools, and I like the idea of making my own stamps. I just didn't really follow it up. I had a go at it and made a load of 3 or 4 stamps and then never picked it up again. It is very difficult. It's not a very me skill,
but I have the stuff, so I should be using it. And the other thing I want to do, which I meant to do last year, but I didn't, was I have a complete set of quilling. Now, I used to, if you don't know what quilling is, it's using paper and rolling it into shapes to, you know, make things. And I used to do it when I made pocket letters because it was just interesting, and it can be quite therapeutic just rolling the paper. But again, it wasn't anything I was amazing at. I've made some lovely things, but they were quite simplistic things. But I have this whole quilling kit. So this year I'm going to focus on quilling as well. I'm going to get my quilling supplies out, and that's going to be a skill that I am going to try. Well, my goal is to try and work on my quilling and see if that's something I'm still interested in or not, because sometimes you just change, don't you? And that's not what you want anymore. And sometimes as we age, our hands and things and eyes don't work as well as they used to. So sometimes things we used to enjoy aren't really things that we can do anymore, and that's okay too. But that's what I'm intending to do. I'm going to destash, use what I have, do a deep dive into certain skills that I already have the tools for. So these are not new skills. These are not things that I'm suddenly going, oh my gosh, I need to go out and buy all this stuff for, because that's not what I want to do. I have these. Same with watercolors. I don't really do watercoloring, but that's another thing I want to focus on this year, is practicing some watercolor and basic kind of doodling and stuff, and seeing how I am with that. Again, it's not my natural go-to, but that's okay. I have the stuff. Let's try and use it. So that's basically those. And so let me just see. So I'm just checking. I've got my little list of goals here. So it's destashing, use what I have, reduce what I own, and reduce what I bring in. Skills. Oh, the other skill that I forgot to say is jelly plate printing. Now, I did do this last year. I think I did it in the January, February, because I actually did it. I taught myself, and I'd been brought a jelly plate for my birthday the year before, and I hadn't even taken it out of its packet. And so I was using it in one of my commissioned journals for someone. I was making pages, and do you know what? I loved the pages, but I was getting very frustrated by using a jelly plate. It is not as easy as it looks when other people are doing it. But that's one of the other skills. So we've got pyrography, quilling, lino stamps, and jelly plate printing. And I may take you guys on some of those journeys with me, so that you can see me doing that. So there's all that with my goals. So use what I have, use up my scraps, reduce what I have, consciously buy, so reduce what I bring in, so low spend, but reduce what I bring in and make sure that I'm consciously bringing it in, and focus on learning some skills of the objects that I already have. And I want to get back to journal making again, guys. I haven't been making the journals that I love to make, and actually I've given myself enough of a break now that I actually am feeling that pull, but I also feel really out of what's the word, practice. So, but yes, and with that I am also going to be finishing up projects. So I have been doing a Finish Up Friday series off and on my channel, where it is exactly what it says. It's normally small projects in my finish up box or in my unfinished projects box, and then we spend some time finishing some projects. But I'm going to expand that this year, so you will still be getting some Finish Up Fridays, but you will be getting another series linked to Finish Up Fridays, which is about finishing up some projects. And another series that I have that I want to pick up, because I started it, but I never really did anything with it, was my Inspired by series. And I really enjoyed that because I only did about 3 or 4 videos, but I really enjoyed what I made in those videos, and it is what it says, as they say on the tin. It was a series where I would watch other people's videos, or I would go on Pinterest. I've got a lot saved on Pinterest, and I would get inspiration, and then I would make a video themed around that and my own take on that inspiration. So I want to carry that on again this year, which I think is helpful. It's always good getting inspired by other people. And so there was the finishing up of projects and stuff like that. And we are also going to be doing I am going to be doing another series, starting a new series, because, just keep throwing things at myself, where basically we are going to be using up my scraps and encouraging you to use up your scraps. So there is going to be one of those kind of things as well. So there's a couple of 2 are series that I had already started, so I've got some videos in. I know there's playlists, but there's not a lot in them, but I really want to, they're the kind of things that really will help with my other goals. And we have 2 new things, 2 new series coming on my channel, which again I think will be hopefully helpful to you guys as well. And alongside that, there will be journals, more journal flip throughs. Although, as I said, I don't really make journals on camera. It's too much, and I get stressed about it because I can't really put the time into it. On the one hand, it's good because it stops me overthinking. On the other hand, oh my goodness, it stresses me out. So, but hopefully more journal flip throughs as well. And yeah, they're basically my goals for 2025. Reduce what I own, destash, reorganize, use what I have, including deep diving into some skills of what I have. Again, making sure I'm focusing on the channel and just being really conscious. The weird thing is that in the rest of my daily life, I'm very kind of conscious of, I'm very, very environmentally minded. I always have been since I was younger. I mean, I was recycling before it became a thing. I remember when I started recycling as a teenager, because yes, I was that kind of teenager, and people just laughing at me and going, what are you doing? And now it's just part of everyday life. So I've always been quite environmentally minded, but in all honesty, our hobby of crafting is not always the most environmental thing that we can do. And, I don't want to take the joy out of it because we enjoy what we do, but I sometimes feel guilty because of that, because there's a lot of plastic involved in our hobby, as it were, and there's a lot of consumerism. I mean, I tend to not do hauls except thrifted, so they're secondhand, so that's more environmental. And we're saving things going to the landfill and all that kind of thing. Or it's obviously at Halloween when Halloween stuff comes out, because it's me. But I want to think about that more this year as well. So there are certain products I know I won't be restocking once I no longer have them. I've already made that decision. And that's another reason I need to be conscious of what I'm bringing into my house. Because I need to think about, it needs to get its use for me to buy it and bring it in, not only for space, but just to think about sustainability and things like that. So that's just, it's very weird in the rest of my life where I think about those things. And then I come to crafting and I'm just like, yes, buy all that stuff in plastic packaging and buy all those silicone made stamps and get that mica spray that's been it's a very weird thing. So that is something that for personal, just for me, you guys might disagree, and that's great. We're all different and there is no judgment here. But for me, it's important just for me. So that's something I also need to be thinking about this year, and is another thing that spurred this on, which means, again, that's one of the series that will be coming, not an environmental series, but about using up certain things that I have an abundance of that need to be used because they're just sitting there taking up space. And I have a very sweet partner that whenever he finds something, he's like, oh, could you use this in your crafting? And half the time I'm like, possibly, yes. And then suddenly I have 500 junk mail envelopes. So yeah, I need to be thinking about that too. So that's basically it. I'm still going to just do whatever challenges come to mind. I've already started off the year like that. I started off knowing I was going to do the Marguerite Mega Challenge, and then seeing that Jodie was doing the ABC GLC challenge. I was like, okay, that sounds good for using up my scraps. And then I saw the Shinuki Art full deck challenge, and I have a few other interesting things that are in the works that haven't been finalized yet, but they are in the works. And yeah, there's a new kind of, yeah, you'll see anyway. There's just things that need to be finalized, but I have some things coming up that I'm really looking forward to. And I'm just really enjoying this channel, guys. I really am. I'm enjoying filming for you guys. I'm enjoying interacting with you. I'm enjoying that we've built a community. That's all I've ever wanted, really, for this channel. It's not been about numbers or anything like that. It's been about building a community that I just enjoy chatting with and learning from and all that kind of thing. So that's that. Obviously I have other personal goals, like daily normal goals too, that I've set myself for 2025, but these are my craft goals, and I've made sure that the goals that all kind of link together. They're all on a theme, basically. They're on a theme of just being mindful and enjoying what I have. And it's quite funny because, as I said, I've seen a lot of crafters over the past few weeks come out and say similar things. And Tim Holtz obviously did his video about the changes in his life, which that takes a lot of courage, but he's also, it's just true. As creatives, we have to go where our hearts want us to go. And I think that was part of the problem with my journal making. I'd made journals a lot for many years, and I love making journals. They're super important to me, but I wasn't pushing myself in other ways as well. And I just felt burnt out. So I saw Tim Holtz, he's kind of doing it, and he's encouraged people to look at what they have and their craft rooms differently. And I just thought, gosh, that was already one of my goals. It was already something that I was talking about, and it just seems something's in the air in 2025 with a lot of crafters saying, hey, let me look at what I have. Let me look at how I can craft differently or use my stash and really think about what I'm doing. So that's been interesting to see that kind of happening across the community. So they're my goals anyway. This has been a bit of a long waffly video, but hopefully you guys will, where's the other one? I want to keep the cheesecloths out. I'm making something at the moment, and the cheesecloths will work really well with it, as will some burlap. I just wanted to share my goals with you, and also share kind of things about what will be coming up on this channel. I hope you enjoy what I'll be doing this year, as always, because I don't just make these videos for myself. So I hope you'll be enjoying that. Where can I add this to? Because it's come off and it'd be good to add it somewhere. So yes, I hope that's something. And I hope you get lots of inspiration this year from what I'm doing and how I'm going to tackle certain things. And even if your goals are completely different, I still hope you get loads and loads of inspiration, or you just enjoy my videos. I know a lot of you enjoy my chatty videos that I make. Something may be coming along those lines too.
So yeah, there's just a lot in my mind at the moment that I am sort of looking for. This needs to be tighter as the year goes on. But this is probably the first year ever since my channel started that I have actively sat down and thought about the direction I want to go in, the content that I'm going to be making. Before, it was always just, oh, that looks fun, let's do it. Or I've got a journal to share, or I need to make this video. But now I've actually thought about content and also about my own crafting journey. So that is fun and different, but yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy. Doesn't that just look so pretty? Just as it is. I hope you guys enjoy whatever I'm doing anyway, and that you, as I said, get some inspiration and maybe are inspired to really look at your own crafting journey and what you want to do. I mean, we craft because we love crafting, or at least I hope that's what we do. We craft because we love crafting. So enjoy your crafting. That's what the big thing has been for me since last year, to enjoy my crafting and what I'm doing and challenging myself. So anyway, guys, it's been a long rambly video for just some goals, but as I said, I just wanted to keep you guys updated. I've been talking about a goal video coming, and you've probably been like, where's this goal video, Belle? And yeah, so all my goals are interlinked, and I will share some of my journeys with you with the jelly plate printing, the pyrography. Even if I don't do it on camera, I'll share some of what I'm making. Please do check out my Instagram. I'm going to be uploading a lot more to Instagram this year as well. I struggle with social media so much, and I actually find it quite it takes a lot of time for me to go, right, I need to make a post and put it on there, and all the hashtags just bother me so much. Hashtag this, hashtag that, but they have to be done. So I didn't do it a lot last year. So there is that I will be uploading a lot more to Instagram. As we say this, hopefully I'm caught up, but I actually think I'm a few days behind. But you'll see projects on there too, and maybe some behind the scenes things. I don't know, not behind the scenes, but things I'm working on. So I'll share things like that. I may do some quilling on camera. I have to get better at it first. I'm going to be continuing my cross-stitch journey. I started cross-stitching again last year after not doing big projects for a long time. I didn't do as much as I'd hoped last year. I didn't prioritize it as much as I'd planned to. So that is something I will be continuing into 2025, because I just loved picking up my needle again and stitching. So I have some projects I need to finish for that. Yeah, so I'll take you along on certain things if I can, and if not, I'll at least show you. And I don't think I'm going to be doing any destashing, reorganizing on camera, just because it takes me a long time. I really am a thinker with things. So if I take out one of my 12 by 12 boxes and I'm going through it, that can take me 2 or 3 hours, and that's not something I'm going to do on camera. So but I may when everything's neat and tidy and organized, I may kind of show you my crafting area, because I know I've had a few people ask once it's organized. And also on Instagram, I may share, or even do some shorts on here, that I may share like stacks of what I'm getting rid of or what I'm not doing. So there is that. And again, if you're interested in books, I really don't know about I know I chat about some of my books whilst I'm crafting sometimes, but I haven't really done sit down book, because this is a craft channel. That's what you come for. But if you are interested in what I am reading, because many of you know I read a lot, if you are interested in what I am reading, I do have a reading channel, which is Bell Book and a Cuppa. It's always linked in my description, so you could go check that out, because you will see the books I'm reading. You may get some life things there as well. Sometimes I do that in my stories, and you'll get my reviews, and I am on Storygraph. So if you are a big reader and you're on Storygraph, you can find me on there as Bell Book and a Cuppa.
So yeah, there's all that going down. I'm excited about 2025. It's a big year for us as a family anyway. One of my sons is graduating from his master's. My daughter's getting married. It's a big, big year for us as a family. But also I'm just really excited about this channel. Last year brought me so much joy on this channel. 2024 was my best year, just how I felt about this channel since I've started it. And I just want to keep continuing to enjoy making videos and content for you guys, enjoy my crafting. That's basically the big thing. That's why we do it. It's our hobby. We love it. And for me, it's super important for my mental health, for my anxiety. So I want to keep doing that, guys. Anyway, this is a long waffly video. So thank you to anyone who's listened all the way through. I know a lot of people fast forward and just listen to certain bits, but thank you to anyone who has listened all the way through. I appreciate every single one of you who subscribe, who watch, who comment, who like, who share. Like, it doesn't even, everything that you guys do, no matter how small, you may think just hitting that like button is small. It really isn't, guys. It means the world to me. I'm just this little bundle of anxiety, little quirky Irish woman who loves her cats and strange things. And I just, it's weird to think of people actually watching and liking not just my content, but my chatty randomness. It means the world to me. Your comments mean the world to me. I love talking to you guys, as I said, building that community. And yeah, just crafting. So I want another really good year in 2025 for my craft, for this channel. So yeah, check all that out if you're interested. If you're interested in books, check out Bell Book and a Cuppa. I'll be uploading more there as well, because as I said, social media is a thing for me. I don't do TikTok, and I don't really do Facebook. Well, I don't do Facebook. So yes, it's all there. But thank you so much for watching. As I said, from the depths of my heart, you guys bring me so much joy. So I appreciate all of you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share and comment. And wherever you are in the world, and whether you've made new goals or not, whatever it is, just enjoy your crafting. And I hope you're having lots and lots of creative adventures. Bye for now, guys.